There has been a flurry of interest in the number of the beast, or the Antichrist, in Canadian and American newspapers of late. The reason for the interest is that the beast number might not be 666. A few years ago, a papyrus of the Book of Revelation was discovered. This manuscript has been given the designation P115 by the Institute for New Testament Textual Research in Münster, Germany. It was badly damaged, having only about 20 fragments that spanned 9 chapters. One fragment in particular is of interest. About the size of a postage stamp, it includes part of Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. There we read, "This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has insight calculate the beast number, for it is man's number, and his number is 666. But the papyrus known as P115 has a different number here, 616. I saw the fragment in 2003 at the Ashmolean Museum of Oxford University, where it is housed. It was published over 6 years ago. Just now it is making its way into popular literature. When I looked at the fragment, the curator had to slice open its case because the verse in question was on the back side, which was covered by a sheet of paper. I looked at the fragment under a microscope to make sure that the wording had not been tampered with. But even with the naked eye, it was quite legible. Although this is the earliest fragment for this portion of Revelation, it's from about the 3rd or 4th century, the fragment's textual affinities and general reliability have yet to be examined fully. The number 616 in this passage was known in antiquity and was discarded in the 2nd century. Irenaeus, the patristic commentator, wrote a chapter on the number of the beast, arguing that in the better manuscripts of Revelation that he had seen, the number was 666 instead of 616. The fact that he was writing in the 2nd century tells us that both numbers existed at that time. Irenaeus was a well-known and influential Christian writer. It may well have been his input that caused scribes to alter the text to 666 if 616 had been in the master copy that they used. Indeed, we know of one other manuscript, Codex C, from the 5th century that has 616, and 2 others that used to exist, manuscripts 5 and 11, that also had this number. Codex C, also known as Ephraemi Rescriptus, is probably the second most important manuscript for the Book of Revelation still in existence. Nevertheless, this is P115 and Codex C against the world. The point I wish to make is that on the one hand, one cannot simply appeal to the earliest manuscripts and assume that the case is settled. Textual criticism is not done in such a simplistic manner. Date is indeed important, but there are several other factors involved. On the other hand, one needs to weigh the manuscripts rather than count them. How important are they overall? Do they contain a good text, or are they full of mistakes and even deliberate alterations? Neither the earliest manuscripts by themselves, nor the most manuscripts by themselves are sufficient evidence for settling a text-critical problem. If further research shows 616 to most likely be the number of the beast, it will certainly have interesting implications. In the least, it will send tons of popular Christian literature to the flames.